Good morning, afternoon, evening. Whenever you're watching this, it's time for another edition of Talk of the Tiger with me, Paul Brown, and him, Jim Peterick. Good morning, Jim. You
Good
just
morning.
you just flew in from out of town, and we'll talk about that later. So we got a number of topics to talk about. We got the new video from the new album is just about to be released. We got that fundraising event coming up. You just went on a trip out of town, and you and I were both at a very cool concert a couple of weeks ago. So um, let's start out by talking about that first. Um, John Anderson, the iconic lead singer of Yes, has been touring for the past 2 years, doing classic Yes songs with a band called Band Geeks, which is it's a group of friends. Well, the three, the bass player, the guitar player, and the drummer, are friends from the same area in New York, and they've been part of a podcast that they've been doing for years. It started out with a variety of things, and they would do covers of some of their favorite songs, and they are really, really good at it. And one of the songs they did a couple of classic Yes songs a number of years back because they all grew up in high school loving Yes music. And when John was looking for a band to go out and tour with him to do this thing, his manager sent him a video and said, "How about these guys?" And he's like, "They sound just like we did." And so he called him, and it was kind of a story like you and Stallone. He called Richie up and said, "Hey, Richie, it's John Anderson," and Richie goes, "Yeah, right, it is."
Sure.
And as it turns out, it was.
Yeah.
And so they added the two keyboard players who they knew but had been in other bands, and they spent about a year like diving into the classic Yes songs and learning them note for note. And I was there, and then I saw that you and Colin and Sean from the Charmers were there too. I saw Yes back on the 90125 tour, and I had seen a version of Yes with Anderson. I saw him do a live solo acoustic show. You remember that little venue up on the north side where you and I went to see Tom Kiefer play, the Viper Alley?
Hyper, yeah.
Yeah. Anderson did a solo acoustic show there, which was just intense and it was amazing. And then this was great. How about you? I mean, I'm assuming you've seen Yes at varying points over the years.
Oh, well, through the years, absolutely. In their prime, I mean, they had so many years of in their prime, but 72, all the Ides of March, came to I think it was the Erie Crown Theater, and were blown away. And there was this piano player that opened. His name was Billy Joel. And it was not a good pairing. This is before Billy Joel had any hits. And he's on the piano, and we're going, this guy's really good. And in the middle of the show, the lights go off on him. What is this? It played a joke. It's my birthday, and you're giving me this present. Turn the lights on.
Yeah.
And yeah, turn the lights on. But for Billy Joel to open solo for Yes, that was quite a task. And then Yes get on, Chris Squire and John, and they blew us away. We had already been fans from listening to the music and the album, but live it was so spectacular.
It and the music is not easy. I
No.
mean, it's very intricate and not just repetitive. And depending on the era, I mean, the what I think most people consider the classic era is with Rick Wakeman on keys, and
Yeah.
Wakeman is just a monster, and then Alan White on drums and Steve Howe on guitar, and then Chris Squire's bass
Yeah.
is one of those bass players who is instantly recognizable as him.
Well, yeah, he mastered. Well, he created the Rickenbacker round wound string with pick style, and we're going, oh, Bob, you've got to get a set of round wound roto sound strings. It was like a lead instrument, with Chris Squire playing it.
Yeah, it's and all the guys in the band focused very much on making that sound. So I mean, if you close your eyes, it sounded like, I mean, Richie Castellano, who's the kind of the band leader and the bass player. He's also a multi-instrumentalist with Blue Oyster Cult. He's been with them for a decade or more. Um, Squire was kind of like his hero as a bass player, and he really focused on getting that sound. And when you listen to it, it's like, yes, that's Chris Squire.
Yes,
So
that's yes.
exactly. So
Well, they actually switched off bass players, and they each had that sound, and the twin keyboards were just amazing.
mhm.
What a full group, seven musicians plus, John. It was
Yeah.
incredible.
And the thing that's amazing about, aside from like Andy Graziano and guitars got the house parts down, and the Ascalise on drums, but John Anderson is 80,
Yeah.
2 months short of 80, and he still sounds like John Anderson that we all knew.
Oh my God. When he goes, for the ranger, I mean, every note was perfect. Uh,
And
un-
for
he's
a guy
like
with,
he's a force of nature, okay? He really is.
yeah, for a guy with a voice that high, but I mean, the fact is he's never, when you if you hear him talk, you realize he's not forcing that voice. It's just him. And
It, yeah, it is. It's really funny because he's a tall guy. Usually the high singers like Jimmy Jameson and other people I've worked with, they're short guys with high voices. This is a tall guy with a high voice.
yeah, so that was an amazing show. So I was really glad, because I didn't get to see it on the last time they swung through town. I was out of town, but I know he had Colin went to see it because they were looking for some technical stuff, and I recommended and put the two of them together. So that was, I was so happy when they came back. So that was cool.
Yeah, for Colin, that was a big thrill, to be one on one with John Anderson.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, now you just flew in from Dallas, and boy, are your arms tired.
Oh, I'm glad you said it so I didn't have to. Yeah, that was a great show. There's a great fellow named Brian Lubeck who I've known like forever. We've done shows together and written songs together, even. Talented musician, but more than that, he's an entrepreneur, and he has a company called Nutanix, which is a tech company, and brought me down there. Larry and I went and flew to Dallas, and we had dinner with Brian, and that was great. He's such a great host. And then the next day, we did a big show for all his clients, which were mainly tech guys, and women, of course. And a nice big showroom, very wide, and a lot of people. And we talked about the set at dinner the night before, and he said, "What I'd really like you to do, I know you've done this before, and it's really effective, is to start out with the roots of your rock and roll." He's seen a show where I do that, where I'll start with Que Sera and go into Hound Dog with Elvis Presley, and then another Presley song, and go through everything from Chuck Berry to Buddy Holly to and it's really the roots of my rock and roll, and it sets the people up, and they really enjoy hearing those familiar old songs, and then Larry hands me the electric, and I start doing my own songs, the biggest hits I've had through the years, and a couple of new ones that I sprung on them that I always, gauge their response. It's something they haven't heard. And they went over great. So, then you end with the big ones like, well, I end with Vehicle and Eye of the Tiger. You can't really top that because of, well, they're great songs, but they're famous songs.
Yeah.
And just standing ovation and all the good kind of feedback that you want. And then there was a meet and greet and signed a zillion photos, met everybody, shook babies and oh no, shook hands
Hands.
and kissed
Yeah.
babies. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. And nicest people in the world, Nutanix, a great tech company.
Good deal. Sounds like you had fun.
Oh, nothing but.
All right.
Yeah.
And there was nothing in the news, so you and Larry behaved.
Basically,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Nothing in the news. Yeah.
yeah.
No,
All
we
right.
we had fun.
Coming up on July 27th is, of course, the Goombay Bash, which is a big fundraising event that you've been involved with for years.
Yeah, that it's a big cancer event, and I've been doing it now for like, well, maybe 20 years. Not every year, but most of the years. And it we raise scads of money for cancer, and it's always a good time. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it's not like I play that many songs, but I'm being honored for some kind of a chair thingy, a really big honor. And I'll probably, talk a bit and maybe play about the three songs. But the performance is not the big thing. It's all about cancer and raising funds, and they raise millions of dollars every year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Exciting news for the upcoming Roots and Shoots Volume 2 album. There's a video that just
I
got
haven't even
finished.
seen it yet. You saw it before I did.
Yeah, and it's about to be released, so we will let you know when that is. But it is you
Your own, your own
and
hero.
Mike Reno.
Yeah, it's a song that I wrote for Mike, and originally it was just going to be Mike Reno singing, um, but I wedged myself in a few lines because I
It's
could.
your song.
Well, yeah, and I had a few lines that I took a little different place than he did.
Yeah.
But Greg Bizzaro, my amazing friend and videographer, flew up to Vancouver and captured Mike. He's still in a cage. He captured him and did a great job. I haven't seen it yet, but he said it went really well. And then came down here and at his studio uh, with the help of Christy Schramm, who did my hair and made me look human.
Makes you look pretty.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
Did my footage, and that went very well. And then he conflated the Reno stuff with my stuff and made it look apparently kind of like we're in the same atmosphere,
No, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I'm gonna watch that.
It's Greg. Of course it's good.
Yeah, Greg
But
is.
yeah, it's a song called Your Own Hero, which is based on a quote from Neil Peart, the late
Yeah,
Neil Peart
which
of Rush.
Paul Brown, you may know him. On the bottom of almost every email, he's got "You got to be your own hero" and quotes Neil Peart, and I just love that. I said, Paul, I'm going to write this song, and he says, "Have at it."
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
thank you for that, passing that quote along.
You're welcome. Yeah, Peart was one of my heroes, and it
Yeah,
was that's an inspirational thing. It's like you can have your own heroes, but I mean, you can have others that are your heroes, but you really need to be somebody that you can look up to. And it's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
it's
So,
a great theme, and I hope I delivered.
yep, you did. I love it. You guys we'll put the link out there as soon as Frontiers drops it and it goes public. So, speaking of World Stage, Roots and Shoots Volume 2, that
Yeah.
is being released very, very soon. Pre-orders are available now.
Yes. Wow. Well, yeah, I'm really proud of this record. There's so many great cuts on it. American Dreamer, that's the lead off cut with Dave Mikulskis, an amazing singer from Chicago here that I've been working with for like 6 years. Um, he's kind of my, I hate to say it, but my new Jameson. He's got that personality in his voice. And Jimmy Jameson, the late great second lead singer of Survivor. I would show him a song, and he would start. I remember when we auditioned, Dave, excuse me, Jimmy, and Kevin Shelfont. We auditioned him 2 days before. We almost gave him the shot at being lead singer of Survivor, and he was great. Everybody knows Kevin Shelfont from The Storm and et cetera, et cetera. But Jimmy came along and just blew the doors off the rafters. We had this really terrible PA in a carpet warehouse. And our eyes were tearing because of all the backing from the carpets. And, we show him the search is over, and he's singing along. And it's like he knew us. Jimmy, did you hear this one before? I said, no, man, I just got a good ear. I'm
Yeah.
saying. And he gets to that chorus and he goes, now I look into your eyes, and his voice cracked on eyes. And I said to Frankie, oh, we better lower the key. And his famous quote was, oh, man, give half a man a chance. And the next take, he nails it.
Yeah.
And before the end of that rehearsal, I said, you got the gig, man. And the rest is history.
Yeah. Dave's got a great voice, and he's been involved in he's got some songs on volume one, and you've worked with him on some other things too. So Dave's a great addition to the family.
Yeah, he really is. So then we talked about Your Own Hero with Mike Reno and
Yeah.
myself, Stronger Than You Know, again with me and Dave Mikolskis, one of my go-to guys now. All That's Mine to Give, Toby Hitchcock. There's a lyric video that will be coming out that Kathy Richardson of Jefferson Starship put together, which is great. Been to the Mountain, Jason Sheff, former lead singer of Chicago.
Right.
Jason is Jerry Sheff's son. Jerry Sheff was Elvis's bass player, no one big. And the son, Jason, is just a super talent and an unbelievable singer, bass player, dear friend. Forever Endeavor, which is a song I wrote, and Toby and I sang that. Rise Again, with a new discovery from from America, named Kevin Ferris. I think he lives in New Orleans. Kevin is a great singer, and that's going to probably be a single and a video. We Can Fly, a little group I put together about 60 years ago, the Ides of March.
Mm.
And the four of us get together, and Scott, of course, who's been the newbie, he's been with us for 33 years. We cut this track, We Can Fly, which I wrote specifically for the Ides. And it's really a nice, positive song. I think you'll enjoy it. Love Lives, Kathy Richardson and I wrote that and sing it together. And anything Kathy sings, she rules. I just try to stay up. Until with Neil Donnell, the current lead singer of Chicago, who's just amazing. Take a Hit of Freedom with Sophia Sheth. She was 12 when I recorded her. Now she's a whopping 13. Discovery of Colin Peterick. And she's a superstar. Now she's, gone all over the country working with different producers. Everybody's realizing how brilliant this gal is. And then the closing cut is a song I really wrote for Dennis DeYoung to sing, but scheduling didn't work out. And it's called Road to Forever. So I sang it best I could, not as good as Dennis would have, but I'm dedicated it to Dennis and Suzanne, who are two of my dearest friends.
Yeah. Sophia sounds young, but not 12. So, I mean, yeah, you'll be amazed when you hear it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
she is incredible. And so thanks to Colin Peterick for, you really got to try this girl. I said, okay. She came to the studio and blew me away.
So we will announce ongoing as we get the information from Frontiers when it actually is available. I believe pre-orders are now, and then we've got all that information out there. So
Yeah, I think the 9th of August it officially drops.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but prior to that will be the video that we just did with Reno and um, all sorts of stuff.
all right. Speaking of new albums, how is it coming along with the new one from that little band from Berwyn that you put together?
Well, the Ides of March, we're amassing a great body of work. But because of our schedule, we probably won't get to release it until the last quarter of this year. But we're we've got the stuff, and we've been rehearsing and getting ready for that moment. But we have a big show in Seattle that we're doing. I'm doing with World Stage, and it's a fundraiser for cancer with Michelle Abrams. That's a big deal, which I'll talk more about when it gets closer to the date.
Okay. So we got that to look forward to. That should be just about time for Christmas for everybody.
That's a good gift for everyone to
Yeah.
buy.
And get 2 or 3 for yourself and just hand them out to friends. So
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
exactly. All righty. That's it for this week. Thank you very much. You get on with your day. You're always busy. I know that. So
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll tell you what I'm working on. It's a new female artist that was a American Idol finalist in
yep.
2020.
Okay.
Um, so I'm working on material for her right now. And ironically, she lives in Chicago. So
It's convenient.
that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So there's always something to work forward to.
All right. All right, thanks everybody for checking us out. Make sure that you've subscribed to the channel and that you hit that little bell thing so that when I drop a new one, you get notification and you don't miss it. And also leave comments. The YouTube loves that when you leave
Yeah, and
comments,
I love that. Yeah.
and he loves that. And share them with your friends. So until we speak again, I'm Paul. He's Jim. He's Jim, whichever way it turns out. This is Talk of the Tiger. Everybody have a good week.
Thanks,
Talk to you
Paul.
later. Bye.
Great God in heaven, you know I love you.